With great power comes great responsibility. These are the words of our role model, Peter Parker, and they ring true in every situation. Being a famous and powerful man doesn't mean you get to evade the responsibility you have towards others. It only adds to it. Seems like this is a lesson Kambosos Jr. needs to learn, and being sued by his manager and trainer might just teach him. Let's look at what's been going on. For starters, why is George under legal fire? Okay, so we've all had moments in which we owed our friends money and couldn't pay it back, and that pisses our friends off, but they also understand and empathize. Hey man, sometimes we just don't have the cash on us, and everyone goes through rough stages. It's perfectly okay to take some extra time. But then again, the same excuse cannot apply to you when you're a millionaire with an insane amount of cash just lying around for you to What do rich people do with their money again? Build gold toilets? We wouldn't know. Now, we're not saying that George Kambosos Jr. is Bill Gates level rich, but being the #1 lightweight champion in the boxing industry is bound to leave you with, let's just say, comfortable living conditions, right? And if you're living in those comfortable conditions, perhaps it's important to be mindful of the money you owe to your employees. Employees are nowhere near the same as your friends. And come on, isn't it part of their labor rights to at least be paid for their labor? Following up, Kambosos cannot pay his employees. We think we've dropped enough hints already for you to fully figure out what this one's about. Yes, folks, you guessed it. The reason Mr. George is being sued is that he's failed to give his manager and trainer the amount he promised. Now, you're probably thinking, hey man, if it's just about late payment, why can't these people just have a conversation? No need to bring the legal system and the suits into it. But the thing is, when people refuse to eat the carrot, sometimes it's important to bring out the sticks. And from what we've heard, Kambosos has been looking away from the carrot for the longest time. Apparently, Kambosos owes his manager, Kahn, $347,700 and his trainer, Centeno, $280,000. Whew, you see folks, we're not talking about spare change here. This is actually a lot of money, more than we earn even after months of labor. These men have their livelihoods contingent on the payment, but the boxer refuses to pay up. No wonder they felt the need to get the authorities involved. Next up, what's the update on the court case so far? The thing about these things is that there's really no way to get the piping hot insider tea, unless of course you're Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, and your entire court hearing is up for public consumption. But that's not the case here. George's PR team has done an excellent job and kept the whole thing under the carpet. Let's hope he pays them on time for all their hard work. Just kidding. We don't really know why Kambosos hasn't paid his employees though. The story is pretty vague to be fair, and we're yet to hear his side. There has to be a reason why he cut ties with his former team only a few days before his match, and it seems awfully convenient to us. He was sued just 3 days before he got in the ring with Haney. Oh, and did we mention he lost the match? We mean, with such a heavy lawsuit hanging over his head, can we really blame him for not being fully focused? But then again, this lawsuit may have cost him more than he signed up for, because losing to Haney also made him lose his title as the undisputed lightweight winner. It's okay, Georgie. Happens to the best of us. You're only human, and there's only so much we can take. Next, did Centeno and Kahn make Kambosos who he is today? On some level, this whole thing isn't even about money. It's about principle. It's about giving people what their due is, and that's where Kambosos is falling short. Don't you think it's fair for Kahn and Centeno to feel how they do? We know we'd be pissed if we worked so hard on building a person up, only for them to express intense ingratitude. And that's the thing. Centeno and Kahn seem to believe that George wouldn't be George had they not put in the work and effort to get him where he is. This sentiment was put forth explicitly by their lawyer, Carl Berry, who mentioned in a recent interview that before Kahn and Centeno's involvement with Kambosos, he quite literally only fought in Australia. George was only a regional name before these men intervened and changed his life. Now he's recognized worldwide, and taking someone from being practically a nobody to someone who's recognized universally, whew, that's a lot of work. But while these men fight tooth and nail to get the money they're owed, Georgie here is busy fighting a completely different battle. Next up, what battle is George focused on? Turns out this legal battle isn't really much of Kambosos' concern right now. He has other things keeping him preoccupied. His mind and his heart are all set on making sure he loses no more fights. But we're wondering if, in winning the ring, Kambosos might accidentally end up jeopardizing his win in the courtroom. Who knows? The man is grown enough to pick his priorities by himself, and he clearly has. So if you're wondering what Kambosos Jr. has been up to lately, he's focusing all his time and energy preparing for his next fight. Looks like someone is taking it all out in the training room. It's okay. It's not the most unhealthy coping mechanism. We can respect it. But hey, he might just be super upset about his last loss. That couldn't have been good for his ego, and maybe he took it to heart. We really hope his time in the gym pays off, to be honest. The man really seems in desperate need of a win. Moving on, how did he even lose to Haney? If you're even half as great as Kambosos is in his art, being second best isn't really an option. It really hurts to lose something you believed you were invincible at. And Kambosos not only believed that he was the greatest, he actually proved time and time again again. Come on, guys. This man literally held the title for WBA, WBO, IBF, and The Ring from 2021 to 22. Wow. Is there some title he didn't win in his career? Going from being on top of the world and then taking the steep fall that he took is bound to make a man feel slighted. And then again, it's not like his rematch with Haney was an easy victory for Haney either. The two men went toe-to-toe for the longest time. The game could have gone either way, but perhaps it just wasn't Kambosos' day. Even though the vote was unanimously in favor of Haney, Georgie here only fell short by 8 to 9 points. Not to forget, where did Haney overpower George? Boxing is a game of chance as much as skill, but we would do Haney an injustice if we say that the man hadn't shown up fully prepared and was ready to kick some butt. His last match with George had given him some strategic understanding of the way George functioned. He could use what he knew about his opponent's weakness against him. That's what ultimately led to his victory. Now, you must wonder what Haney's secret move was. Don't worry, y'all. We're going to spill the secret ingredient of his victory. Haney could overpower George because he knew exactly what weak points he had to attack when the two were in a clinch. That, right there, is where George is at his most vulnerable. When in a clinch, it was easy for Haney to overpower and tackle George. Looks like Georgie should note his weak point and work on it while he's still in the gym. Lastly, what was George's response to all of this? Well, folks, looks like it's been hit after another for our favorite lightweight legend. But the good thing about him is that when he takes a hit, he gets back up. This man takes his losses in stride. Had we gotten our butt kicked, we'd probably mope in bed, but not him. He posted on his Instagram about how he's ready to sharpen his skills further. George clarified that losing is just a part of the game. He sees a loss as an obstacle, not the end. And honestly, that's the spirit, George. We really hope you have the same fighting spirit in the courtroom because you're gonna need it. Good luck to you. And on that note, it's a wrap for today. Do you guys think Kambosos will bounce back? Let us know in the comments below. If you liked this video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. See you next time.